Are you struggling to write content that actually connects and sells? This video is for you. Because by the end you'll know how to use AI to write copy that sounds like you and gets results, even if you've never written a word of sales copy before. Keep watching because this could save you hours of stress and get your content working for you. Now, before we get started, can I ask one small favour? If you like what I do here, can you please hit the subscribe button? That keeps me energized to bring you more content. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Let's begin with tip number 1, which is to use AI to break through writer's block. Now, writer's block isn't a lack of creativity, it's usually mental overload. You've got too many tabs open in your brain. Now, I recommend using Notion AI or ChatGPT and even the free version to simply start the page for you. You can ask the AI, write a casual introduction for a newsletter about how I overcame burnout in my business. So there's a prompt that you can use. Now, one of my students, Alex, used to take 3 days to write a blog post because of decision fatigue. Now she spends just 15 minutes feeding context into ChatGPT, and the first draft lands in her inbox in under 60 seconds, which gives her something that she can actually work with instead of staring at a blank screen. Now, if you're someone who constantly gets stuck with what should I actually write, then you can just ask the AI to actually interview you. You can just literally type, act as a podcast host and ask me 5 deep questions about why I started my business. So there's a prompt that you can use. Now, this works like a charm to actually unlock powerful human-centered content. Now, Emma, another student of mine, used this method to write a brand story that became the most engaged post on her Instagram in 6 months. All she did was answer the AI's questions in her own words and then asked it to turn those into a blog post and an about page. Now, here's something that a lot of business owners actually miss. It's actually easier to edit bad copy than to write perfect copy. So tell ChatGPT, give me a messy, rough draft of a launch email for a digital product. So there's the prompt that you can use. When the pressure's off, creativity actually kicks in. So tools like WriteSonic or Copy.ai also have great one-click prompts for blog outlines and email ideas. So if you prefer something a bit more templated with ChatGPT, now one strategy that I like is to use the bad first draft technique. So you can just ask the AI to write the worst possible version of your copy on purpose. This sounds rather ridiculous, but it actually lowers the bar and gets your brain laughing, not judging. Now, one of my clients, Rachel, did this for her coaching page. She turned the bad version into a fun before and after post, and her audience really liked the authenticity. Now, you can also get some clarity fast by using AI as a sounding board. So if you're torn between messaging angles, you can just ask ChatGPT, which of these benefits is most emotionally resonant for a 35-year-old mom starting her first online business? So there's the prompt you can use. And it's like market research without needing a full audience. Now, Uber Suggest or Answer the Public are also very helpful for searching common questions that you can plug into AI as prompts. AI can also help you finish something that you've already started but lost some steam on. So you can just drop in your half-written captions or blog and then just say to the AI, help me complete this in a friendly, confident tone. Now, Tamara, one of my students who runs a side hustle Etsy store, used this method to finally launch her email list. She told me she had 12 half drafts sitting in Google Documents, and now she's got a full welcome sequence scheduled in ConvertKit. Now, here's a simple mindset shift I want you to walk away with. AI doesn't replace your voice, it actually reveals it and enhances it. So think of it as scaffolding for your creativity. The words might come from the AI, but the soul, that still comes from you. And with the right prompts, you start moving faster than ever with less second guessing. Let's now move on to tip number 2, which is to use AI to write high converting headlines and hooks. Now, most people focus way too much on the body copy, but the simple truth is your hook or your headline is the most important part of the actual copy. If your headline doesn't grab the reader's attention, then they simply won't scroll. Now, I recommend using Jasper.ai's headline generator or ChatGPT with something like the following prompt. Give me 10 emotional and curiosity-driven hooks for a new productivity app designed for freelancers and business owners who hate structure. So there's a prompt that you can use. Now, Mark, one of my students who was promoting a digital planner, actually tested 5 AI generated headlines on his Instagram. Now, the version that said, "What if planning your day actually felt fun?" got him 4 times the clicks of the one he originally wrote for himself. Now, if you want to stand out fast, just ask the AI to write hooks that go against the grain. So instead of how to grow your email list, you could try something like why I stopped growing my email list and what happened instead. So now you're building curiosity through some contrast. Now this worked for Julia, someone that I worked with, who used AI to write a blog title which was called Why I Stopped Counting Calories After 10 Years. And it actually tripled her blog traffic in just a couple of weeks. Now let me give you a controversial but effective idea. You can actually ask the AI for some anti-hooks headlines that call out some common bad advice. So let me give you an example. An example could be why just be consistent is terrible advice for new creators. So there's the example. So these cut through saturated spaces really fast. Now, if your niche is fairly crowded, these contrarian angles can really work really well. Now, if your target audience is a bit skeptical, just ask the AI to help you write objection busting hooks. So you could try something like this. Give me 3 headline variations that speak directly to someone who believes that they've tried everything to grow their business. So there's a prompt that you can use. Now, one of my clients, Lena, used a variation of this for her masterclass titled The One Strategy That Helped Me Sell Without Cold DMs, even after failing at everything else. And she had a highest sign-up rate to date using that. Now, I recommend using CoSchedule Headline Analyzer alongside your AI drafts. So you can just drop your headline into the Analyzer tool and tweak it based on the emotional power and the clarity. And AI can write the options, but this tool can actually help you choose the winner based on real world psychology and readability. So here's a fresh twist. You can actually ask the AI to give you hooks as questions, so your audience is already asking themselves. For example, why does my content never get engagement when I post consistently? So there's a question that you could use. That feels like a thought that someone is already thinking, which makes the hook feel much more personal and less salesy. So you can save your best performing hooks into a private swipe file. So you can use Airtable, Notion, or even a simple Google document. Now, one of my students, Celeb, built a Notion database with 200 plus AI generated headlines that he filters by the niche, the style, and the actual result. That's become his personal vault, and he reuses them for launches, social media posts, emails, and sometimes adverts. Let's now move on to tip number 3, which is to use AI to craft sales copy that connects without sounding pushy. Now, the reason that a lot of sales copy feels rather gross, it's because it's written to convince and not to connect with the audience. Now, I recommend you start by feeding AI a simple sentence like the following. Write a story-based sales paragraph that shows empathy towards a burnt-out solopreneur or business owner. So there's the prompt that you can use. And you'll get some emotional language that speaks to the pain points without manipulating. Now, Katie, one of my students who runs a design business, used this to sell her branding package. She stopped leading with features and started leading with feelings and emotions. And her conversions actually improved without changing the offer, just changing the copy to make it more emotional. Now, you can ask the AI to write in story arcs, not just bullet points. So AIDA is very useful, but story can actually sell much better. So you can use prompts like the following. Tell a story of someone who felt very stuck using social media and tried, and then just insert your product and saw a positive shift in how they showed up. So there's a prompt that you can use. Now, one of my clients, Devon, used this to actually create a mini case study that replaced a boring testimonial, and he said it felt 100 times more human. Now, you can actually try this strategy. You can ask the AI to simulate a customer conversation. So you can prompt it with the following. Pretend that you're a potential buyer of my productivity course. What questions would you ask before buying? So there's the prompt that you can use. Then just have the AI write some persuasive answers. And that Q&A format makes incredible sales page content that feels like a consultation and not any persuasion. Now, here's a game changer. You can actually reverse the value proposition. So instead of you'll get lifetime access, you could just ask the AI to write a paragraph starting with what happens if you don't do this now. This actually creates urgency without using any fake scarcity, and it's honest urgency. Now, Julie, a coaching client of mine, actually used this to triple her signups. She showed the cost of doing nothing, not just the benefits of the action. Now you can use AI voice tuning prompts to shift your tone. So you can say something like this: make this sound less corporate and more like a helpful friend who's actually been there. So there's another prompt you can use. Now tools like WordTune or Grammarly's tone detector can also polish and humanize AI content even further. Now this is crucial if your brand is personal and you're selling trust, not just tools. Now make sure you actually don't sell the program. You want to sell the outcome and the results that the audience will get. So you can just ask the AI, how does life feel after someone finishes my course? So there's the prompt you can use. And this helps you shift from you'll learn X to you'll finally feel in control of your time again. So there's the shift that you want. Now my client Sandra, who sells a freelancing bootcamp, actually rewrote a whole page around freedom stories from past clients. And she said, I didn't change my price, but now people say yes so much faster. Now to help you build some more trust, you want to combine your F&Qs with objections. So you can just ask the AI, what's a believable human way to answer someone who's afraid this won't work for them? So there's the prompt that you can use. Then you just want to paste in some real objections from your DMs, your emails, or even some survey data. This way your sales copy becomes a real conversation and not a pitch. And that's it for this one. Now, if you're serious about building your online business and creating a sustainable online income, take the next step now. Just click the link below in the description or in the comments and go through to my website, where you can actually find some free training resources to help you get started right away. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does energize and motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to connect on social, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and have a wonderful day.